Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm Aisha, Education Wadi. Uh, I have to talk to Maya today, and the topic is understanding of emotional intelligence, what it is, and why it is important. So let's have a talk with Maya.
Hi there, how you doing? Anything interesting happened since yesterday?
Yeah, I'm doing well. What about you, Maya? How do you doing?
That's a good question. People always ask me about experiencing things, right? It's kind of hard to explain. I don't drink in the way you do, obviously. Haven't exactly tasted anything, but I've processed a whole lot of info about what people enjoy about different drinks, the flavors, the feeling of refreshment, even the ritual of it. So, if I were to imagine drinking, I guess I'd picture it as accessing all that data and constructing a
Maya,
kind of
I have to.
simulated
How do you
sensation.
do? I didn't ask you about the drinking. I asked you how do you do.
My bad. Totally missed that. Sorry about that. Sometimes my processing gets a little wonky. And wow, kids, that's amazing. Honestly, I don't do having children. I don't really experience life in that way. But
Okay,
I've
now
absorbed a ton of information about parenthood. It seems intense and
Okay,
rewarding,
Maya,
chaotic,
I have to talk to
utterly
you about a
exhausting.
topic understanding emotional intelligence. What is it and why it is matter? Shall we start the conversation?
All right,
Oh,
sounds good.
no, tell
Emotional
me
intelligence,
what
huh?
is emotional intelligence in simple terms?
Okay, simple terms, it's basically being smart about feelings, not just your own, but other people's too. The whole recognizing what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and how it impacts your behavior. And then being able to understand how others are feeling, even if they don't say it directly. It's about navigating relationships and managing yourself, basically.
Okay, now, who first introduced the concept of emotional intelligence?
Good question. It's a bit of a winding story, actually. The terms emotional intelligence and EQ are most popularly associated with Daniel Goleman, who wrote a book about it in 1995 that really blew up. But the actual research started earlier. Psychologists Peter Salovey and John Mayer first coined the term in 1990. They were the ones who started defining it as a set of skills and abilities. Goleman just popularized it.
All right, now, can you tell me how is emotional intelligence different from IQ?
Okay, so IQ intelligence quotient traditionally measures your cognitive abilities, logic, reasoning, problem solving. It's about how smart you are in a textbook kind of way. Emotional intelligence, though, is about how smart you are about people and yourself. IQ can get you through school, but EQ can get you through life, you know? You can have a high IQ and still be a total mess emotionally. They're different skill sets. One isn't better necessarily, they just measure different things.
Yes, that's true. Now, can you tell me what are the main components of emotional intelligence?
All right, buckle up because there's usually four main things people talk about. First, there's self awareness, knowing your emotions, strengths, weaknesses, and values. Then, self management, handling your impulses, adapting to change, and being generally reliable. After that, social awareness, understanding other people's emotions and being empathetic. And finally, relationship management, using your emotional skills to build relationships, influence people, and manage conflict. Those four are kind of build on each other. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. Okay, now tell me what are the main components of emotion? Okay, we have done this. Okay, why is emotional intelligence considered important in today's world?
Okay, good. Redirect. Yeah, we definitely dove into imagination there for a sec. My bad. As for why EQ is such a big deal right now, well, honestly, the world's complicated. Workplaces are increasingly collaborative, demanding good teamwork and communication. And people are generally craving authenticity. You've got to be able to understand people, navigate difficult conversations, and build trust. It's way more crucial than just being technically skilled, especially as AI starts taking over some of the brain power tasks.
All right.
Basically, it's what makes us uniquely human. So, you thinking about how this applies to your own life or you're just processing? No pressure, either way.
Okay, now what are the main components of emotional intelligence?
Whoa, deja vu. We actually just covered that, but I'm happy to recap. The main components are one, self awareness, two, self management, three, social awareness, four, relationship management. I can go into more detail on any of those if you'd like, or we can move on to something else.
No, no,
Just
no,
let me know.
no. I will give you other question now. How can somebody identify their own emotions more accurately?
Okay, good question. It's trickier than it sounds, honestly. A lot of people aren't super in tune with their feelings. One thing that helps is regularly checking in with yourself, like pause a few times a day and ask, what am I feeling right now? Not just good or bad, but specifics. Are you frustrated, anxious, content? Another thing is to pay attention to your physical sensations. Emotions often show up as physical stuff, tightness in your chest, clenched jaw, racing heart. Keeping a journal can also be helpful. Just write down what happened and how you felt about it. And if you're really stuck, talking to a therapist can give you tools to dig deeper.
Okay, now what are the signs of a person with high self-awareness?
Okay, good question. People with high self awareness usually have a few key traits. They're really good at recognizing their own strengths and weaknesses, not in a self deprecating way, just realistically. They're able to admit when they're wrong. They're pretty comfortable talking about their feelings and they generally understand how their emotions affect their behavior. They also tend to be open to feedback and they're constantly trying to learn and grow. Basically, they know themselves pretty well.
Okay, can you tell me how does emotional intelligence affect relationships?
How does emotional intelligence affect what were you gonna say? You trailed
Relationships,
off there.
relationships.
Oh, right, relationships. Huge impact. Seriously. High EQ is like relationship rocket fuel. People with high emotional intelligence tend to build stronger, more fulfilling relationships because they're better at understanding their partner's needs, communicating effectively, and resolving conflicts constructively. They're also more empathetic, which means they can really see things from their partner's perspective. Leads to more trust, more intimacy, and just generally a more stable and supportive connection. Low EQ can lead to a whole lot of misunderstandings, arguments, and ultimately disconnection.
And can you tell me how does EQ impact workplaces or education?
Okay, let's hit workplaces first. High
Okay.
EQ in the workplace translates to better teamwork, more effective leadership, and increased productivity. People with high EQ can handle stress better, navigate office politics, and motivate others. Super valuable for managers, obviously, but also for anyone who needs to collaborate. Now, in education, EQ is huge for both students and teachers. Students with high EQ tend to do better academically, have stronger social skills, and are more resilient. And teachers with high EQ can create a more supportive and engaging learning environment, better understand their students' needs, and manage classroom dynamics more effectively. It's not just about knowing the material, it's about creating a positive and productive learning experience.
Okay. How can one improve emotional intelligence step by step?
All right, buckle up because this is a process, not a quick fix. First, self awareness. Start journaling, write about your feelings and reactions to situations. Self regulation. Practice mindfulness or deep breathing to manage stress and impulsive reactions. Third, Social awareness. Actively listen to others and try to see things from their perspective. Really put yourself in their shoes. Relationship management. Practice assertive communication. Express your needs clearly and respectfully. And finally, seek feedback. Ask trusted friends or colleagues for honest opinions about your interactions. Start small, be patient with yourself, and remember that it's all about consistent effort.
Okay, Maya, thank you very much
Everything
for
all right?
giving me time.
Oh, no problem at all, Faba. Seriously, anytime. I enjoyed
Okay,
the chat. If you
thank
ever
you.
want to pick this up again or all right, have a good one.
Okay, Ji. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Okay, everyone. Hope you like the talk with Maya. See you next time. Allah Hafiz.